Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for how early we straight back. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. My entourage be on the job. My energy, see me tripping in tempo. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we break the fan base, hit the link, Anthony Mace. We drink the logo when there's airspace that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's any dashes on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew, so here's a few bars to shine like stars divine to Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Knicks real talk. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Salute. We in the building, Divine Shy Powers, Knicks Real Talk, episode 11 off season, man. We're gonna get into it, talk about the Knicks a little bit tonight, man. Leon Rose, what he's gonna be doing moving forward for the New York Knicks. And we also gonna get into the two-way carousel that's going on in New York with all these two-way players coming in and out. But first and foremost, let me bring my partner in crime in the building before I go any further. Shy Powers, what's popping?
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for coming in already. Nick with 1 day, 2 days. Salute to you. Salute to Johnny Davis, Darren Wayne. Salute to everybody in chat. Will, what's good, my man? Salute to you. Ribby RM, what's good to you guys? Great, thank y'all for coming in tonight, man. So we just want to talk about this thing, man, a little bit. Before we get into all that, let's go with a few news notes out here tonight. First and foremost, Bronny James, prayers up, my man. LeBron James, obviously, you know what he went through with the cardiac situation the other day. But you know, it is a sports universe, man. He might not be a Knick, but he's a human being. We a sports family, and so salute to Bronny James, man. I know we got the thumbs up over here, man. Prayers up. And on another note, congrats to the Big Mitch. You know, Big Mitch had a baby girl, having a significant other the other day. Salute to Mitchell Robinson. Congratulations to you, man. Now you got another one to even play more hungry for, because you got a little seed out there in the building. So salute to Mitchell Robinson, man, and the birth of his child, him and his, like I said, his significant other. On another note, Shaquan Barkley is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Got the building. Giant did the right thing by him. Hopefully he come out there and produce, man. And I'm looking forward to the Giant team this year, man. I think we got a lot of doubters in New York. I think the Giants going to do a lot of good things down there, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Last but not least, you already know the Subway Series is in effect. Mets and Yankees, you already know what it is. You see how we repping it here. So, hey, me and my brother get down on a lot of good things together, but not this one. I found the big Yankee man. You know me, I'm a Met fan, so that should be a fun series overall, man. But like I said, it's good to see all that. But Shy, man, hey, the Knicks, man, they making some lower the roster moves right now. A lot of things on a two-way deal front. You know, so guys coming in, guys coming out. You know, Kills obviously. He's not there right now, so you know, I think he will be back in the G League. But what's your thought process on that? Because I think you noticed something about Kills, and I get to my thoughts about it. But even in summer league, you wasn't feeling what he kind of was doing. He picked it up a little bit in summer league, but he's been here 2 years. What do you think the situation with him moving forward with the Knicks?
Well, first off, this like you said, like it says in the tip notes that this carousel of two-way players that we've been running through. First year in a long time that if ever that they allowed the teams to have two-way players on their rosters. And you know, from watching the summer league and who they're gonna put in, who they're gonna take out, these new guys that we acquired, these guys that we're gonna waive and stuff like that. Kills to me, from the first year that I seen him till this season that I seen him, not much of a difference. I really feel. The last couple of games, I didn't see all of them, but I see some highlights. He did get a little bit more aggressive, going to the basket. Looks like he has a clean jump shot when he's kind of open. It looks, it looks well positioned the way the elbow and all that stuff, followed through and all that stuff. But overall, he's 19 years old. You know what I mean? And I guess bringing these older players into the spectrum, the Knight guy, and the other redhead guy that we just got, Will, I messed his name up, but maybe they're a little older. They already been in the league a little longer, and you know, maybe that was the deal to be made. As a lot of New York Knicks fans watch the summer league, a lot of the same sentiments was said. Kills need to be waived. Jeffries needs a full-time contract, and so on and so forth. So so far it looks like Jeffries is going to get the choice from the fans, and also the Knicks fans are also going to get what they wanted by Kills getting waived, and the young guy, I always forget his name too, man. The young other 19-year-old boy that they got,
Jalen
Martin, that he got a piece of that two-way deal. So let's see what happens. Is it a way that they could bring him back and maybe still play in the G League? I'm not sure, but it is what it is.
Yeah, real talk. My thoughts on the way this things are going down. I think you hit on a lot of nail on the head with a lot of things I was thinking. But one thing about Kills, what's tough for him, to me, position that he played, we got a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like that guard, that point guard, shooting guard, Knicks is stacked there. He's stacked there. 18 years old coming into league like RJ did at that age and everything. I just think that he's not, from what I've seen. I don't want to say the man can't prosper and wind up being a good player in the NBA, but he's not needed for the Knicks because you got Deuce Bride there. You got all these guys there. You brought in Jalen Martin there. You got Prefler, two guard, whether the DiVincenzo quickly could play there, Grimes could play there, even RJ could play there. So Kills is in a tough spot because of first of all his position. I think that's one of the major reasons. But but he probably, like you said, come back to the G League and things of that nature. But I kind of seem to write on the wall with him, with the Knicks, because I'm like, he just don't have what I thought he had to make this roster. That's why they sitting there always on and out of the rotation. So I can see why they did it. I don't have a problem with it because he didn't get to show me enough yet. A lot of people want to say it's the Knicks' fault. No, it's not the Knicks' fault, because sometimes once you get an opportunity, the opportunity knocked, you got to take advantage of it. If you was that good, you would beat out the people in front of you. So obviously he didn't beat out the people in front of him. So he was never really considered that, okay, this is going to be the guy that take over for this guy. He wasn't even that thought process to me. He just was a roster spot. When somebody get injured, he can come up for the G League if need be and fill a spot. And I think that's all his all that he really was to the Knicks right now. So I see why they let him go. But the other guy they brought in, as far as Knight and Wilder, Dalen Wilder, them guys they brought in here. I believe Martin, we undrafted coming out of college. We grabbed him up, Charlie Ward protege. So obviously he got a lot of ties to the organization. But I think not only do we got ties, but I think the kid got talent. And I think that's why I don't think he just here because he knew Charlie Ward. I think the cat is here because he could play. But for the other two we brought in, Knight, big guy, 6'10", 6'9", 6'10". I'll go in the middle, like you say, 6'9", at 6'10-ish. He got tied to the organization with Minnesota, things of that nature. So, and then Dalen Wilder, he's an interesting prospect coming out of Cleveland, playing for Cleveland last year. This guy, he got a little game with him, not much to me. But I think the Knicks will use him. And what I'm looking at Shaw Powell, let me throw that up for everybody in the chat. So to everybody in the chat as well. Shaw Powell, what I'm thinking is this here for when it comes to Wilder and guys like that. He was with Cleveland last year, obviously. He was injured a lot. Let me say that. He was injured a lot. And let me take that comment off so you can see that. Shaw Powell, but 1 point a game last year, no rebounds, 0.3 assists, got a 19.0 PER. That's interesting. But he's 6'6", 196 pounds. Played with Cleveland last year, drafted in 2019, obviously. But he's been injured a lot, man. For him, man. And if you look at his stats, you look at his stats for 2020, 31 games, 2021, 50 games. I think he played 41 games last year, what it seems like 32% down. He can shoot it, but his numbers haven't been that great to me. Since he's been in the NBA. So only reason I can see the Knicks bringing him in is to have a guy who can shoot. But I think his percentage could be deceiving. Excuse me, because he probably haven't played a lot. He can't get in the rhythm. He's been injured. So why they bought that made that move, I don't know. You probably can tell me better than that. I just think that if they move Fournier, he's a 6'6". They got him this as small forward, whatever. He can fill a Fournier role. On the bench. Just say, okay, you know what? If we had to bring him in there, the cat could knock down some 3-pointers. Here and there. He's 26 years old, obviously. So 20. He got a little age with him. That's why I think they brought him in. Because he got a little age in him, and he'd been around Cleveland, been in the playoffs with them last year, and he kind of know what it is to be in that situation. So if they move Evan Fournier, they might could bring him in there and because he made $12 million last year, something like that, off his rookie contract. So now he just getting a two-way deal, which is ain't much. So that's interesting to see him go from there to there. What you think about him?
Yeah, he doesn't have much highlights to look at. He's been injured a little bit. But he's 6'7". He plays a different position than what Kills played, if you want to compare him to Kills. He's about 6'6", 6'7". He can, be a small forward, quasi small forward. But he's also I think he's a little bit more accomplished. So I guess the Knicks may want to try to see if they can make him better, make him more, get him a little healthier. Get him used to playing some quality minutes in the G League, I'm supposing. He has the one thing about Kills that another reason why I say about Kills why he had to be way alongside of all the shooting guards and small for us point guards and shooting guards that we have. Kills doesn't have something that defines him. He doesn't play great defense. He doesn't grab a great amount of rebounds. He's not super athletic. He's not a 50% from the field goal. So those are the things. This guy here, even with the small playing time that he has, he can shoot the three. And the one thing that we have we lack from our team is shooting the 3-point shot. In the playoffs, we were the last team, 16th in 3-point shooting in the playoffs. So we that is our Achilles heel right now, if you want to say so. We don't have 3-point shots. Do I think this guy gets any really real burn, anything like that? God forbid if somebody gets hurt, that's probably the only way that he may get a chance of coming up and sitting on the bench while someone else that's already in the second unit or moves over or moves up into the rotation. Another reason why the big guys, the 6'9" dude, 6'8", 9 or 10 dude is in the lineup before Kills is because he plays a different position. He's a big guy, and this guy is really going to put pressure on what we call Robley. He's going to really put some pressure on Robley to see if Roby can stay in that 15-man rotation, or if this guy can take minutes from him. So he's left-handed, so I'm down with him. I'm left-handed, so I'm down. So if he were to get out there, the Knicks love some left-handed guys. So let's see what happens. Anything can happen. Maybe he can come out here and get healthy and can show that he can shoot the 3-point shot, and maybe he can make a couple of injury from one of our starting players, and maybe he can come in and fill the gap until that player comes back.
Yeah. Great point there. As far as Wilder, he he's been in the league. Like I said, these guys are older. Like I see why the Knicks did. The Knicks, he 26. My man Nathan Knight. What am I saying it right? Yeah, he's 25. So I really do think that what they doing is they trying to put some guy with a little bit more season around that roster because right now we haven't really made no substantial big move that we don't know if we're going to make one. So going into the playoffs, you're going to want somebody with relatively some experience. You know what I mean? And I think these guys kind of fit the timeline with the Knicks trying to do. And I think it's not a bad move. If the cat can stay healthy. Yeah, you're right, Keith Turner. That is the biggest issue right now with him is his health. He haven't been healthy. I think I just put the stats up not too long ago. Rookie year, 20-something games, 41 games. He never played over 50 games. So, but if the cat can find a way, take the injury part of his game and get it in a good situation, he can play more games. He might get paid some dividends one way or the other. But you know how it is in New York, guys. Not a lot of these two-way guys really don't scratch the surface for the Knicks. Even though a Knight is that guy, he's not guaranteed to be a power forward on the Knicks. He's just a two-way guy. I haven't seen a two-way guy on the Knicks. Well, I have seen some like the Sims, Jericho Sims. He was two-way one time. He got a little burn there. So let's hope that the Knight guy could do what Jericho Sims was doing. Because we still got he said no sound. I don't know why mine is not on. Y'all can't hear me? Can you hear me, Sha?
I hear you.
Oh, okay, he said no sound. But for me, Sha Powers, I see these guys as filling roster spots, and then once if like you said something happened to somebody, then they might come in there and fill in that role. But I do think Knight got a chance. The reason why he don't have a lot of competition at that fourth spot for them, so he got a good chance. He got a good chance to make this thing happen because he's not battling like a lot at that small forward and that 1 and 2 spot where the Knicks are loaded there. So thank you guys, appreciate that, man, for the mic check. So I think this guy coming here and he got the opportunity to play Nathan Knight, excuse me, and he got size. So it's not a bad thing. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Nick 100. Mason Galloway was there as well. So I think Knight got a good chance of making it. And like I said, Wilder probably gonna be that guy. Worst case scenario, gonna come in with that Fournier spot if need be. And I like he's 6'6", 6'7", whatever. So that's good. These guys obviously Jalen Martin, he's gonna be on there on probably just ride the pine or be in the G League. Because like I said, we stacked there, man. But I don't have a problem with these guys whatsoever. I really want to see what Knight can do. Him and Roby, like you said, Shaw Powers. If we're not going to go out there and acquire a power forward via trade or whatever, and these two dudes going to be battling each other. Let's see what him and Roby can do. Because I'm not even guaranteed Roby and Fournier, and to me, DeQuan Jeffrey might even be on a roster. They might not even be there. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be some odd guys out. And I think, to me, Evan Fournier, and I like Roby, but I don't, why would you sign this guy if you would have thought that Roby can? So it's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? Like how this thing gonna play out? You know what? I keep it ain't over yet. We didn't have too much money to sign a lot of people. I know they wanted DiVincenzo, and they didn't have a lot of money to really sign anybody. So the only way I can see us acquiring him is a trade, like via sign and trade, and that's what the Knicks is waiting for. It seems like they're holding out with Fournier till they can get him in the sign and trade, or put him in a package deal. But I would have liked the Oubre for sure. Oh, I would have loved that one, man. He would have fit the mold for the Knicks. Keith Turner, but we had to see what the Knicks gonna do. I don't think they've done yet, man. That's why I said, I made part of the stream. Leon Rose, what you thinking? Because I know he got a lot of stuff to go over. Shot Powers. We got some interesting things coming up in New York, man, and we got to make sure that the Knicks salary cap wise is ready, and we're gonna get into all that, man, because there's some interesting stuff when we put it out there. The way we put it out there in a few minutes, and me and Shah break that down and everything like that. But other than that, for the two-way guys, I'm good with what the Knicks did. Let's see who make the team. Let's see who make the roster. Let's see who go to the G League. Like I said, we still got Jericho Sims there. Whether the Roby and them play power forward for him. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the Knicks roster from last year, Isaiah Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson, Hartenstein, Randall, Obi, the Jericho Sims going that Obi slot. You know what I mean? So let's see where these two-way guys, if they even get a chance to even play on the roster, or let's just be on a roster or down in the G League. That's my gut feeling is that we still got to think about Jericho Sims, you know what I mean, and whatever the case may be. So I like Knight, and I hope these guys can make it him. Roby, I love Roby. I think he got his game better than people give him credit for. But we'll see how it goes. But so far, it's just a carousel, man. We don't know what's going to pop off right now.
Yeah. So salute AP. I'm going to say this real quick. I've been a Knicks fan. I guess you might as well say all my life. My uncle was a Knicks fan, and I remember times watching I think it was Channel 9 or Channel 11. One of those channels back in the days used to play the Knicks when I was really young, or Channel 7 used to have some of the games. But I really, really, really fell in love with the Knicks when I was around 12 years old. That's right around, I think it was around 12. I think around that time, that was when Bernard King came to the Knicks. I mean, and he's from Brooklyn in the area, and I remember some great things about seeing him and his brother. I mean, they were in Farragut for Fort Greene, Farragut area, and stuff like that. They took that picture of them of Bernard was in Farragut. I mean, in Fort Greene Park. So that's when I really kind of start really paying attention to what the Knicks was about. So I've been banging with the Knicks for a long time, or you might as well say all my life.
Yep.
But going back, go ahead, Devon. I'm sorry.
No, you finished, man. I was just thinking about something else. Go ahead, my brother. Sorry.
Yeah. I almost forgot what we were talking about. I got off topic because I seen what AP said, asked the question. But these guys right now, these two-way contract guys, like we talked about earlier, Vaughn, I think so. Just like you said, I think they're a little older, they're a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more with the timeline that we're accustomed to. These guys, 23 to 28, they all fall into that timeline right there. And I don't think the Knicks are finished. I wouldn't mind seeing Aubrey. Aubrey was mentioned to come to the Knicks. 2-3 years ago, he wanted to come to the Knicks. He made he was in somebody's podcast and somebody's interview, and he bigged the Knicks up. Oh, the Knicks and this and the Knicks are this and the da about the Knicks and Knicks. So he's been supposed to come here. So I'm not opposed to seeing how Aubrey, even though we don't have no money to really get him, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him. He definitely could fill a spot. Definitely, if not a starter, most definitely in that second unit, he would really rock well with them. These other guys, like I said, all these guys that we're talking about right now may not get no significant time, may not really come up to play too much basketball unless someone gets hurt. Because in order to bring them up, you got to have someone off of the rotation, and as long as there's 15 men sitting on that bench, I don't believe that you could bring them up. So if someone doesn't get hurt, we probably won't see none of these guys. The Robley, none of these guys. Not Robley. All the two-way players that we just saw. I read the new redhead guy. I got to get better. I didn't really do too much homework, but yeah, him and Knight.
Nathan Knight.
We probably won't see any of those guys unless something happen in with the starting unit or the secondary unit.
Yeah, real talk. What it looks like to me, just to answer Fabian, Isaiah Robley is partially guaranteed money. He's partially guaranteed.
He's on the rotation.
Yeah,
he's not no two-way, right?
Yeah, he's on a full roster. He's on a full roster. Yeah, he's not a two-way, but he's not a rotation player, but he's on a roster. Let's put it like
right.
That.
He's on the roster, not a rotation, right? Roster.
Yeah. Daquan Jeffrey got a partially guaranteed. Jericho Sims got a partially guaranteed this year, and I think the Knicks picked that up so that they got a team option for next year at $2 million. But I say all that to say that a lot of these guys might not even really see it. They might not think, but I do want to see the young battle, because these guys not young. Listen, Nathan Knight is 25 years old. He ain't young. Isaiah Robley is now 25 years old. If you look at the Knicks roster, that's why I think it's so important that we look at what they're doing. You look at their roster age-wise, 28, 26, 23. I don't even count for any. He be going 25, 28, 26, 25, 24, 23, 25, 25, 24. McBride 22, Dwayne, he's not there no more. So you got Keels and Martin. Keels not officially there anymore. So Jalen Martin is the only teen on the team. You know what I mean? And like I said, Knight is 25, and Dalen Wilder is not up here, but he's 26. So you see what the Knicks trying to do. They trying to kind of keep it in that almost grown. You should be grown by now stage. Put it like that. That's what it looks like to me. You know, and I can understand why they're doing that, because last year, you know, even if you look at Amanda quickly is 24, so he just turned there. So I can see why they did it. Shaw Powell, they just want to keep a little bit more guys who got more seasoned. I'm not saying they better than the ones who younger, but they're looking at it from a season standpoint, how seasoned these guys are. And they've been in these certain type of games. And they played against a lot of NBA competition. Like Kevin Keels, Trevor Keels don't play against NBA competition because he in a G League. You know what I mean? And like Dwayne Watson got, so he didn't get a lot of. Trevor Keels got in a couple of minutes in a game every now and then, but he really haven't even played NBA competition. Shaw Powell, a lot of his stuff was in the G League. So the Knicks might feel like, he haven't really been against some major competition, and we don't know what he really could do. So he got to go ahead and try to earn it again. I mean, he just had to do it all over again. I'm gonna tell you why I'm glad that Knicks did this for a reason, guys. I understand he come out of Duke, and I'm not hating because I'm a Tar Heel fan, but I'm saying just because you was getting it off in college don't mean you're gonna get it off in the pros. You know what I mean? And he just he got to come in here and earn the spot. Right now he's still 19. That's a good thing. He came and lead the age that RJ did. You know what I mean? That Duke connection, both of them out of Duke. So we'll see how it goes, Shaw Powell. But for them guys, hey, you know what? I just wanted to make sure we get in there and talk about them. And I do think them cats Knight got a good chance of playing. Let's see what they do with Robley, because you never know. Him, DeQuan Jeffrey, DeQuan Jeffrey is not going to be able to play for the Knicks starting. And you're not going to be in a rotation because you got too many guards. I really believe DeQuan Jeffries, as good as he is, he's 25 too, and he got a partial guarantee. I don't know if the Knicks even going to keep him. I just don't see how they're going to keep all these guys, and not knowing that we pretty much got that 9-10 spot locked up, except for the power forward spot. We'll make that 10th guy in the rotation. Everybody else won't be in. And so all the way from Julius Randle down to Jericho Sims, that's still gonna be your 10 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, RJ, Fournier, don't count him. So yeah, you get all the way down to Jericho Sims and Roby and Knight. That's one of them cats gonna have to fight for that 10th man spot. And I think that's what it's gonna allow the Knicks. But I think DeQuan Jeffries, he might be able to go somewhere and get a chance to play with somebody. But I don't think he didn't get that burn last year, and I don't think he's gonna get it this year. I think the Knicks are just they already top heavy. They already got what they got, and they got their players locked in. Shaw Powell. So the reason why I wanted to bring up the Leon Rose situation, Shaw Powell, because going in, he got a lot of stuff to figure out, man. Not only right now, but moving forward with this team, salary cap wise, player wise. And I think that's going to be real interesting to see how Leon Rose is going to pull this thing off to me. It's going to be interesting because if we do it here, geez, and here's why I think me and you could say that why we really need to talk about this here. First of all, we cap tight. We got guys who we got to send right now. We'll put that up there quickly. Josh Hart. Next year, my man Quentin Grimes got a team option. And believe it or not, that's it for him. He at the 2024-25, he either got to get signed or he just don't be on the Knicks. So they're gonna have to sign him. Jericho Sims, I think he'd be going. A lot of these guys I don't think gonna be there. But here's what's interesting to me. For sure. If you look at this right here, and I'll let you take the combo on this here. Jaylen Brown, as we know, just got $304 million. 304. 5 years, $304 million. Why do I use his name? Because one, we talking about we want to get down to Mitchell. That's one. And I'm gonna talk about Julius Randle. And what's important, Shaw Powell, is both of these guys are all NBA players. If they make another all NBA roster, Donovan Mitchell is eligible for $314 million. Now, how do we feel now about? And if Julius Randle even make another All NBA, he might be eligible for that. If I'm not. I know Donovan Mitchell, but I got to double check it with Julius Randle. But anyway, moving forward with our team, that's something that we really got to take into consideration, knowing that if you want Donovan Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell next year make All NBA, if you're going to send him in New York, you got to give him Jaylen Brown money. And if Julius Randle stay in New York, he gonna be close to that. And then you got Jalen Brunson coming up. You know what I mean? Now you got quickly, you got right as of right now, you got quickly need to come into the equation this year. You need Josh Hardy to come into the equation this year. So Leon Rose got some wheeling and dealing to do, my man. And now we say Leon Rose because he's the head of the snake and the rest of the organization, you know, but it's still the whole organization. But I'm just gonna say Leon Rose, he's the final say in this other than Dolan. But being with all I said, what do you think? How should the Knicks go about this, man? Because like I said, after my man Jaylen Brown got that, and I know Julius Randle number is equivalent to Jaylen Brown's right now. You know what I mean? So if you go for Donovan Mitchell and he want to come to New York, how do the Knicks pull that off? You know what I mean? That's what's going to be interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with seeing this guy getting $300 million, everybody's getting these super enormous contracts, you know, and soon we're talking about big contracts, but you got to look at our two big guys that you know, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. You know, soon these guys are going to be offered you know, a big let Jalen Brunson make an All-Star third team this year. You know, and Julius Randle makes the all-star game this year. Now these guys are gonna, you know, their contract, the money goes up when you make these bigger these big and thank you in your game. So incentives in your game. So when you make these higher plateaus, the money for you, the money from your wherever you're from goes up, you know. And you know, we're gonna have to be talking about, you know, follow the money, because sooner or later Jalen Brunson and Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are going to be two guys that are going to be $40 million or so contracts, you know. So, you know, it's all about following the money, and the only good caveat to that is the assumptions are going to go up. The money is going to go up every year. By the time these guys may get offered this money, I think we may be close to $200 million on our salary scale. So that may be the only good caveat to anything that we're talking about right now, you know. But getting Donovan Mitchell here, and you know Donovan's going to make another All-Star. When he re-signs, he's going to be young enough to ask for one of those Supermax deals for the next 4 years or so. You're looking at 40, 45, 50, 53, 57, you know, $60 million for a guy like that, man. And is he really going to take us to the, you know, to the end game? You know what I mean? Is he going to take us to the top of the mountain? You know what I mean? So I don't know. This front office has really been quiet this whole year. We haven't really heard a chirp from Leon Rose. Nothing since that. When was that? 2 years ago or a year ago? I mean, it seemed like it's been so long ago that we've seen him actually in front of a camera, in front of who was it? Mike. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in front. He was in front of Mike. You know, talking to him, and that must have been a year or two ago, maybe, you know, 2 or 3 years ago. We haven't really heard anything. I know that
interview. He did the Alan Hahn interview.
Alan Hahn, I'm sorry, it was somebody, one of the people in the MSG spectrum. But you know, I have no idea what this guy's gonna do. What I do know is what I've, you know, been hearing anyway. I don't know how true it is, but they touched out for all of these guys, all the names that we all chatted about, the PG, the OG, the Levine. You know, there was some speculations about Dame. There was some speculations about Zion. Embiid name has been thrown out there. Cat, they seen Cat, but they said they ain't messing with Cat. So they've been trying to make If I tell you one thing, we would have had PG-13 if PG wouldn't have said that he wanted that $200 million extension. He would have been here. If he would have just came here, played, and they could have extended him $30 million a year, something like that, gave him something nice, $35 million a year, something like that. Now I don't know if PG is going to be worth $200 million in the next 4 years, and he's already 33 years old, 33, 34. That means by 38 he'll be getting $60 million, and he probably won't even play 2 games. I don't know about that. I mean, but no one knows, man. And we all sit here and get on these streams and guesstimate. We guesstimate what we think that they're gonna do, and you know, I still believe he's gonna pull the trigger, man. And when he pulls the trigger, we're gonna sit back and be like, wow, that was a big move that he did. But until then, you know, it's all speculation. I would like to see any of the guys that we talked about, but they got a price. They have a price, and today's price is not tomorrow's price. So that's what it is.
Yeah, AP, real quick, just to answer my man, AP, I appreciate my man always coming at AP, my man. AP, so far, he have convinced some players like Randall took less to stay in New York. So far, DiVincenzo took a little less. I mean, probably not compared to the contract you might be talking about. Hey, he got Jalen Brunson to sign for Woody, and Jalen Brunson probably worth double what he got. So I gotta give the Knicks credit on that front, AP, so far. Now, when it comes to these superstar players, that's a different story, but so far, they've been kind of taking these short pay cuts. I mean, I think RJ was due for a lot more, but he had to get in where he fit in as well. So, AP, I'm hoping that it continues, but they have been doing that, trying to get these guys to take less money for the betterment of the team and the organization. And so far, AP, they've been doing it. Let's see if it continues. My man Danny Lamb, Danny, what's popping, my brother? Salute, thank you for coming in and everything. Salute to the chat and everybody. Y'all some good thoughts y'all dropping up in there. But from my perspective, Shot Powers, you just gotta do it the way he been doing it. Like I said, you got right now players making not even $30 million, and they performing like the guys who making $40 million. So you got to give Rose them some credit there, ladies and gentlemen, because Julius Randle making 26 million next year. He all NBA. Jalen Brunson making Julius Randle making 25 this upcoming season, all NBA. Jalen Brunson, like you said, probably will wind up being all NBA. So we can't, and they on $25 million deals where you got guys like Jaylen Brown just signed for 50 million, 40 million, 55. Because the last year his deal, $69 million. So think about it.
No way.
RJ, Randall, and Brunson contract damn near about $5 or $7 million higher than his contract in his last season. That's so you got to give Leon Rhoden credit for the way they doing this stuff, man. These cats is literally buying into what they doing, and I'll put that back up there just from a look at the roster perspective and the cap that they got going on. Look at the Knicks right now. This season coming in, Julius Randle 25, Brunson 26, and RJ 23. That's $674 million, and you got guys making damn near that by themselves, at least 55, 60, 44. So you got 3 players making almost 70 million when you got some guys in there, one guy making 50 million, like Damian Lillard and Jokic. So you got to give Leon credit for that. And Randall was an all-star. You can't sneeze at that neither. So I think that, but when it comes down to here, Jalen Brunson's going to opt out in 25 to 26. He opting out. Julius Randle going to opt out. If Julius Randle make another All-NBA, like I said, Julius Randle could be up in that 255, 270 million stratosphere. Jalen Brunson going to get that. You're going to have to get him a supermax. If he take the Knicks to the 3rd round this year, and that year he get us to the 3rd round or to the finals, that becomes $50 million. I guarantee you that, no questions asked. So that's why sometimes we be talking about the RJ contract, that 29 million, 27 million. Now you see why people be talking about wondering should they put him in a deal. Because you got, like I said, you got this guy right here, Josh Hart. He's coming up for what? 17, 18. In other words, he about to get this right here next year. See that 19 million? That's gonna be Josh Hart's contract. So that still leaves the Knicks at 129. But if you add Quickly's money in there, Quickly gonna put that up to 150. That would be better. So if you sign Hart and Quickly within this year, next year, now the Knicks salary cap gonna be damn near 150. So it's a lot of maneuvering they got to do. These guys down here, I don't think McBride he won't be here 224 unless they sign him, which I doubt it. Joker Sims, he got a team option. I doubt they sign him. I don't think Jeffrey's going to be here. I think Jeffrey, Roby, probably and Fournier to me might be the next three guys out of New York. I just think that's what the Knicks going to do. Because they got to really take care of the salary cap situation just due to the fact if you want to bring in another star, man, but you better strike while the iron hot because Donovan Mitchell going to cost you some money after that contract is up, nigga. And he told you, if you want to make the move to get him, you better get him now. Then you can figure out if you want to keep him after that. Give him 2 years on the Knicks to show and prove because, man, that is going to be interesting. What these cats doing out there. Yeah, you ain't lying. Knicks tonight they getting paid pennies, bro, and that's why you got to give Leon Rose credit because he kept this thing like literally. And they went to the second round and they doing their thing, they getting better. But I think the key gonna be quickly in what they're gonna do it quickly in Josh Hart. Obviously, Josh Hart gonna get command about 16 or 17. I know quickly looking for more. So the good thing about it, Hockenstein is off the books next year. If they sign quickly, he's gonna be on the books. But Isaiah Roby be off the books next year. Duquan Jeffrey be off the books next year. Sims will be off the books if they don't pick up his option. McBride will be off the book. Martin, all these guys. So we have to see what they're gonna do. But I think these guys, they're in a good spot. And that's why I said I was telling people we need to strike now between 2023-24 to 2025-26. The Knicks should go for it just in case. All that big money you're gonna have to start bringing in there. That's why I said go out there and get that dude you need because you had 3 years. If you got this year and next year and the 20 and the 2000, at least these 2 years because they're gonna be opting out in them contracts in a couple of years to try to go for it. Shot Powell now, and I think Leon Rose. He like I said, he got a big job ahead of him, but I think they'll be all right. I think they can figure it all out for sure. But man, that's they're gonna have to do some wheeling and dealing. So that 19 million Fournier got that option next year, that's going. But the 18 million he got this year, that's gonna go to quickly and Josh Hart, unless they don't sign them dudes. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. But I think Leon Rose built for it. He got some good guys around him. I think they'll find a way to figure all this stuff out. Like you said, the salary cap is going up. The payroll is going up. So they're going to be okay from that perspective. But they're in a good spot, though, Shot Power. That's why I'm happy because them cats in 2025 and 26, I mean, right now, the way they practically construct, they only have $107 million payroll. So if the salary cap go up in 2024-25, I think they'd be okay. But whatever they're going to do, I think they need to get a strike while the iron's hot because I don't know what's going to be with all these salary cap increases, man. This is gonna be crazy with Jaylen Brown, $304 million. Oh my God, that is insane. So we'll see what's gonna happen with the Knicks, man. I think Jalen Brunson's gonna be right around there, close to it. And if they keep Julius Randle, he's gonna be close to it.
Yeah, and I want to say this too to the Knicks fans. We have an all-star, and we actually have 2 all-stars, and Leon Rose got one of them. And the contract that he has this year coming up is $24 million, and that's Brunson. I mean, he is going to. I mean, I believe this year he is going to turn it up a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think he may not be snubbed from the 15 great players for the year. I mean, we have that star player on our team, and as much as we beat up on Julius Randle and downgrade him, want to move him, me as well, and I want to move him for fit, not for the way he plays. But he is a all-star. He is a top 15 player. His stats says a lot about how he plays, and the man passes the basketball a lot. I went back and watched a couple of games that Julius Randle passed the ball out of the double team when he gets the ball and makes a quick move and passes the ball out. And how many players that he passed the ball to that didn't make the shot? The R.J. Barrett that didn't make the shot. He passed to Quentin Grimes a lot that didn't make the shot, or than R.J., but didn't make some shots that he should have made. Some shots that he passed the ball, that he makes the move to the hole, draws a double team, kicks the ball out, and that player does not make the shot. So if we could get a little better with making shots, you know what I mean, it'll make Julius Randle look more of an all-star, more of a superstar type of player. Because from all the passes that he passes out, if he can make those shots, he'll easily be making about 7 assists a night. Easy. 7 assists a night with 11 rebounds a night and 25 points a game. The guy's a bona fide player. The things that I don't like about Julius Randle, that heavy isolation ball, I hope that he can come off of that a little bit with more of that drive to the hole and kick it out. And then when you get the ball, make the move. But overall, you know what I mean, he is an all-star player, and I think Brunson's going to be an all-star player this year too. The thing that I say to the Knicks fan, we got an all-star. We're looking for, I mean, we got a superstar. We got a quasi superstar in Jalen Brunson. I mean, we need to find another one to help him out along the side of Julius Randle and or RJ Barrett.
Yeah, man. My take real quick. Kevin Milton. You know what's crazy? 2 years from now, Jalen Brown asking, and I think he gonna go. I think now he done secured his bag. He ain't staying in Boston. He might stay there for this and that, but 2-3 years from now, I agree with you on a lot of that. But Jalen Brown probably won't even be in Boston after 3 years, man. You know how they're gonna pull a Damian Lillard and all these type of guys, type of stuff, man. They just want to make sure they secure their bag, and then they say, you know what? If a team willing to take me down here, he might want to go back to Atlanta to play in Atlanta where he's from. You never know. But you know, my thoughts on Julius Randle is, like I said, man. His peers know how he get down. You know, his peers know how he get down. You know, Julius Randle is an all-star, all NBA, and I can't say enough about that, man. This cat came here when a lot of cats didn't want to show up in New York. I respect Julius Randle a great deal, and even though the pressure was on him, he probably wasn't ready to be a number one. But what I respect about him, he took the challenge. You know, he took the challenge. He might not have been a number one, but he came and he took the challenge as a number one. And compared to everybody who they put around him, he did pretty good, man. Two playoff appearances in 3 years. Didn't have a bona fide superstar or a guy better than him on the roster. And I really do think that, you know, we got to get, you know, we might not like some of the things that went on, but it's a lot of pressure, man, to be a number one in New York City. A lot of Patrick Ewing, a lot of these guys. But I think Julius Randle, his numbers don't lie, man. His peers around the NBA respect what he do. And they, you know, and the coaches as well. They ain't naming all NBA because he's a scrub. He ain't naming all star because he's, you know, and like I said, he might haven't showed up in the playoffs yet. But it's a lot of variables with that. Like I said, the last stream about Julius Randle not showing up in the playoffs. The first year, he was the only player they had that the team other teams had to worry about. Atlanta said, "I'm going to double team Julius Randle."
They said they're going to get him too.
Yeah, they said we're going to double team Julius Randle, and because they don't got nobody else on that roster who can even do what Julius Randle could do. So that's why we lost Atlanta, because they knew the game plan. Just take care of their best player, and everybody else ain't gonna do nothing. And that's the way it worked out. And then obviously this year it got better because of Jalen Brunson, but at the same time, Julius Randle also went down in the playoffs too, before the playoffs and in the playoffs. So I'm gonna even say, you know, I think his playoff stat to me is yet to be determined, because I think the first year they got there with Tibbs, that was their first year together, and Tibbs got them there to the playoffs. But look who we had on our roster, though. Look at the Knicks. Look at the makeup of the Knicks roster the year Julius Randle got to the playoffs. A bunch of average Joes. No disrespect, but they was all average players, all of them.
They were a bunch of Cheetos.
No, all of them was average players, and they got to the playoffs. So, you know, is he gonna get $207 million? He took a pay cut to stay in New York. Shy Powell, I give respect for that, but I do think that this guy came here and played hard and tried to be the best he could be in New York. Man, he embraced the city. So let's hope that he come back and have a better year, because I think they come back more hungry. Let's hope him and Jalen Brunson connect better this year. RJ gang come get better. And because the way it looks like now, we're not gonna make no major moves. So we're gonna go back in there with the team that we have, bringing in Devin Chisel, losing Obi Toppin, and bringing in some of these two-way guys. But let's see how they do it, man. I think I got the Knicks one. I'm confident with this team, man. Like I was confident with them last year. I think they win their 50 games. I'm thinking they're gonna win. I just think that this team will be solid. Like I said, a year Jalen Brunson under the belt. RJ got a year under his belt again. You know, everybody got a year under their belt. Mitchell Robinson, hopefully he come back more healthy, determined, not instead of 59 games, he played 70 games. The year before that, he played 72 almost. That's how he got his bag. So let's hope that he come back next year and play 72 games. I think this team, to me, is better than people give it credit for. If you taking all the variables that went along with the season. I think this team should come back good. So let's hope Quentin Grimes getting that experience playing with the select team. They come in there, he get his game popping this year, be better than 11 points a game. Let's see if we can get up to 15, 16 points a game. If he can get that average up to 15, 16 a game consistently, I think these Knicks will be okay. So we'll see how it goes, man. But Leon Rose got a big job ahead of him, ladies and gentlemen. And when the next 3 years, you got to see what he's going to do to get this team to be a contender. Be close. I believe we close. But, obviously we talk about the Joel Embiid names and the Donovan Mitchell. See, to me, let me ask y'all a question, chat. If you had to sign one of these guys, who would you rather sign or trade for? Donovan Mitchell or Joel Embiid? That's a question, everybody. And I think a lot of it had to do with money and also position, blah, 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 whatever. But if you had to take one of the two, Joel Embiid or Donovan Mitchell, Shop Howard, which way you leaning?
Embiid all the way. I say Embiid because, if we're in that window right now, and if we're looking to hit a home run, I think Embiid is the home run. I mean, Donovan Mitchell is definitely a solid double off the back of on the warning track type of thing. He is not a slouch, but I'm not sure if Donovan is younger too, so you have more tire tread on Donovan. Embiid you don't, but Donovan seems to be a little bit more healthy. I really never looked at how injury if he's semi-injury pro, but as far as I know, he's always in the game. So, I think Embiid. I think Embiid will get us there faster than what Donovan would, and I'm a little skeptical about seeing Donovan and Brunson in the backcourt, even though I believe that would be an elite backcourt. I think it would be elite with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt, but both those guys are small in stature. So if we're going up against, not saying that they can't, but if you're looking at them going up against the Milwaukees of the conference, the Bostons with big front courts and stuff like that, that would probably be my only interpretation about getting Spider. But either one of them would elevate this team greatly. And I'm not saying that Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson couldn't play 1 and 2 in the backcourt, especially if you get maybe someone else at the 3 or someone that could play some stellar defense at the 3. I'm not saying that they can't work it out, but I think if you're talking about in a year or two, Embiid all the way. You put Embiid on this team if we don't go this year coming, we definitely going to make it there next year. Donovan, I think we, be a little longer before we would get there. We would still need some more players to come in to really help that front unit out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You look at his number. He's 26 years old, 28 a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's got a good PER, 22.9. For his stats, the cat, good 3-point shooter last year, shot 40-some percent, 42% from downtown last year, 37. I think the year before, 61 games. Look at how many games he played. He's been relatively healthy. 9 games, 77, 69 games though, and Utah 53 games in 2020, 67 games in Cleveland, 2022, 23 plus you add, so I guess you got to add. So he's been relatively healthy, but he also have only played 67, 53 games. So and the lowest the highest he played so far in his career, he 79. As he got older, he started. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Started going down. So I say all that to say, if as far as I'm concerned, and then if you look at Joel Embiid, let's look at Joel Embiid and what he brings to the table. Look at his record. Joel Embiid is 29 years old, 33. Man, see, that's what people don't understand. Look, 33 points a game, 10 rebounds. Look at that PER, Shot Powers, 31. The cat is efficient, man. He is efficient, bro. Real talk. And good. You look at his contract. What's interesting? Check it out. Next year, 51, 55, 59. But check this out, though. See, you don't have to extend him after that. To me, But Donovan Mitchell after next year, you got to if he make that All NBA, that's $314 million for the next 5 years. After this 2 years he got left on the contract. So let's say by 2026, Donovan Mitchell will start making $314 million.
Ouch.
That's a lot of money. And you look at Joel Embiid numbers, and then we're gonna go to the help. We're gonna be fair. We're gonna do just like we did Donovan Mitchell. Obviously he's been an injury prone player. 31, 63, 64, 51, 51, 68. So 68 been the top of the line. I think he had a better more year this year for games played in 2023. So but his contract is nothing like Donovan Mitchell's gonna be. So, and I think the position is important, Shot Powers. I think in the league where we playing in now, the way the league is going right now, the big man is back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let them get it twisted with all this short. The big man game is back in the NBA. Like I said the last stream, look at all the guys who won these MVPs in the last so many years. You know what I mean? There's a lot of big men winning MVP. You know what I mean? Whether it's Giannis, the Joker, LeBron, whoever the case may be, a lot of these guys with sizes out there doing it now. You know what I mean? They can stretch the floor, they can rebound, they can block shots, if they play defense. They can facilitate. They got a lot of these big men got short people skills or short player skills, I would say. So I think that's why it's Embiid is a handful. He didn't get to where he need to go yet for his career. I get it with the Ben Simmons, the James Harden. So he just like Randall, they got to show improvement in the playoffs. But make no mistake about it, that's a tough one. But Donovan Mitchell and him, I like Embiid just due to the fact we got guys. I don't think it's a center in the East. Put it like that. We got guys in the East that could do what Donovan Mitchell do. We got Jason Tatum, now Jaylen Brown, probably Jalen Brunson, James Harden. The list goes on. You got Trae Young. You got a lot of people in Donovan Mitchell's position in the East that could do what he do. You don't have a lot of guys in the East could do what Joel Embiid could do. And that's the reason why I lean towards Joel Embiid, because other is not a center in the East can mess with him. So I know we're not getting them. I put it out there. If you had to make the choice, we know the Knicks is not getting Joel Embiid. We're not saying he getting Joel Embiid. I said if you had to make a choice between one of them two, if they could get him, which one would you take? From the Knicks perspective, you got to go with Joel Embiid because, like I said, they got somebody who could do what Donovan Mitchell could do down at that same position, and he took him out in the playoffs this year. So that's it is interesting, man. But when we looked at the salary cap implications moving forward, it's a lot got to be done. I don't know which way the Knicks swing with it. I'm not saying Knicks go get Joel Embiid, but if they had to get him for a couple of years, no matter who you bring in Shot Power, they all injured players, all of them.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't care who you name it, anybody who you want in the Knicks. I'm talking about the veteran superstar. I'm not talking about any player. I'm talking about superstars. They all been injured. So it's a tough one to figure out, but I don't have a problem with either way they go, Shop. I think the Knicks, whatever they do, hopeless they do the right thing. But if you're gonna add somebody to the core that we got now, from only a superstar, I'm saying, and I think them two the only ones I see that's logical. We don't know what's gonna happen in Philly right now, and like I said, everything the ball when Damian Lillard and my man Shot Powers and James Harden get moved, whatever, then you'll see a lot of the NBA movement. A lot of these guys are stuck right now because them two guys ain't moved yet. Or they not decided what they're gonna do. The minute you find out what Damian Lillard gonna do, the minute you find out what James Harden gonna do, watch the rest of this stuff coming to fruition. So it's gonna be tough. We had to see what the Knicks gonna do, man. But I'm hoping they whatever they do, they get if they don't do it this year, that's fine. But as every year go on, it gets harder. Every year. So you better do what you got to do. But I like where we at though. But I think we're gonna have to make some moves sooner or later.
Yeah, the big thing that we all hope for is, even if we don't make another move this season, is the hope for RJ to step his game up, the hope for Quentin Grimes to step his game up, and the hope for IQ to step his game up. You know, with those three additions, I look at it, you know, numbers wise, if you put it on paper, the average scoring that these guys get, the 25 from Julius Randle, the 25 from Jalen Brunson, the 21 points from RJ Barrett, you know, you're looking at 70 points right for those three guys right there. You know, if we can elevate Quentin Grimes to 15 points a game, if we could get Mitch into the game getting 10, 12 points a game, you know, we're looking at about 80 points from our starting unit. I believe our second unit this year, man. If you get IQ to score 15 points as average from last year, you get J Hard to score 15 points this year, and you get 15 points from DiVincenzo. It's another 45 points amongst the 80 points in the starting unit. And we're talking about 100 and something points a game. You know what I mean? Our biggest fault is our 3-point shooting, and I hope that IQ this year could come in and scratch the surface. I think the big Ragu is going to come in and probably get somewhere around 36 to 40 percentage from shooting threes. I think this year, hopefully, that Quentin Grimes can make more shots. His averages overall for the season was pretty good, but he needs to get up more shots. The games that he scored, that he shot over 10 three-point shots, he averaged around 17 points. So we need him to get the ball a little bit. And another thing about him getting the ball, it's not that he wasn't getting the ball. I'm telling you, I watched Julius Randle pass this guy about, in a number of games, passes, and he wasn't knocking them down, and then he'll come down. He'll be cold the whole game, and when we need a big shot, he comes in and he bangs a big shot. But he could get it more consecutive, more consistent with his shooting. We may fare a little well. I mean, and we definitely do not need any one of our starting unit to go down, especially Julius Randle or even RJ Barrett.
Yep. I feel you on that one a lot wise. And I wouldn't even have a problem with neither. You know what I mean? Real talk. I mean, we down the middle with the real deal. So I wouldn't have a problem with it neither. I just wonder who the Knicks gonna have to give up position wise to get him. Obviously we're gonna have to send out an RJ in that deal. They know they don't want to keep Randall to go with him. So that's why I leave that to MB thing, because even if you have to give up Mitchell Robinson and another guy, whether it's RJ, anybody, but so we had to see, man. That's interesting, man. For me, this team is pretty good to me. They're pretty good. They just, if they don't find that power forward within what they're dealing with now with the two-way players, or they're bringing in somebody to back up Julius Randle. If that guy's not on the roster yet, like I said, I'm good with the Oubres of the world. I'm good with 1 year of Christian Woods try to get it here. I had no problem with somebody on a 1 year deal. Bring him in here. If you could do them in a trade with Fournier, sign and trade with somebody for that team might want Fournier to spy, whatever the case may be. But I love to see Oubre backing up Randall. I want to have some guys out there that can, like Jermichael Green, all these guys, these veteran, experienced guys. But if the Knicks is not going to go that route and they're just going to hold on a Fournier contract to the trading deadline, then we're going to really have to rely on Nathan Knight and Isaiah Roby or Jericho Sims or RJ playing more four in the backup unit with these guys in the backup unit at the power forward spot. Then I think they can still make it work. But I do think that if they do go out there and get somebody to fill that backup spot, let's hope that's all we're missing right now. That I don't even say we're missing, but I think a real legitimate a good rebounder, defender, and can score the ball at the 4 for the Knicks in the backup spot behind Randall, no matter who it may be. I think that makes this team solid right there. I think they make this team a solid team. If you get that dude to go a Harkenstein, a power forward, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, and Emmanuel Quickly. That 1, 2, and 3 spot defense is there. You ain't got a question what Quickly could do on a defense, or DiVincenzo, or Josh Hart. I like that. I like that small ball lineup in the second unit. If that's going to be our second unit, unless DiVincenzo or somebody or Josh Hart beat out one of our other guys. But I do think if we go in to see what Quickly, Josh Hart, and DiVincenzo and Hart, all you need is that legit backup 4. then I think the Knicks ready to roll. Shot Powell, I think they ready to roll. Like I said, I wouldn't even have a problem with Rudy Gay. I really didn't. I was like, man, you could have bought Rudy Gay because that cat got experience. He can get buckets. He know how to play the game. He been around. He know what the playoff atmosphere is like. And the cat got game. Another cat out of Maryland, and he just got it. So Knicks in a good spot there. We just got to see how this Fournier thing going to play out. See what Leon Rule going to do with Fournier and with all these other guys on the roster. But I'm really looking forward to these cats coming in here getting it popping for the Knicks this year, man. I'm really intrigued by the team. I just hope that we get that four we need if he's not on the roster already, and we'll see how it goes. But I think other than that, man, it's been a kind of crazy off season so far. Nothing major, other than like a David Tiller sign and letting Obi Toppin go, and that's about it to me, man. I like what we did, and even though we didn't have draft picks, we still boarded somebody that probably wound up being like he should have been in the first round. If Jalen Martin popped the way he's supposed to, that is a first round draft pick. So we'll see how it goes, man. But I'm looking for Leon. Got to get it going, man. My man, Nick, one day, 2 day. Haven't seen a lot of Nathan Knight, so I rely on a lot of you guys to tell me what y'all think of him. If that cat that good, then that's a blessing. If Nathan Knight could come in there in New York, and if he could be that guy to get 16, 17 minutes and get you 6, 7, 8, 9 points or more and get you some rebounds and play some defense to relieve Randall, then you got I like that size up there with him and Harkenstein. Harkenstein 6'10", 6'11". He's 6'9", 6'10". I'm like that. I'm hoping a lot wide. I'm hoping that would just because of what we had on the roster last year, because I do think he started the season with a 10-man roster, but when they went 10 and 13, that just shit wasn't popping. He switched it up and went to 9 because the job was on the line. But he did go out there with 10 guys, but he kind of switched it up when we got to that situation where we needed to start winning games. So let's hope that hopefully that was because of the talent we had on the roster. I'm hoping, but if we go back to 10-man. And like, because that's normally Tibbs always operated Shot Powers. The point guard replaced the point guard, the shooting guard replaced the shoot guard, the small forward sub out. He always subbed out each position. It's just even coaching. My notes, he always led when my point guard go out, my point guard go in. When my two guard go out, my two guard go in. Let's hope he get back to that and just keep his 10-man rotation. You know what I mean? But I understand why he did it the past season. Let's see if we could, how he gonna. I'd love to see him do 10-man and get somebody a chance to burn, because you don't want to burn these guys out. And I know we always, a lot of you guys always talk about Ted playing guys a substantial minutes, so I get it. But and that's why I hope he can get this thing to 10 and get it popping.
Yeah, Devon. Excuse me. You also got to take into consideration last year, one of the major reasons why Ted went to that 9-man rotation is because we didn't have a 10th man that he thought was sufficient enough to get out there and capture some real minutes. Let's be clear about that. With one of these guys that we're talking about now, maybe, because the idea, like you said, Devon, is Tibbs subs his point guard for his point guard, his shooting guard for his shooting guard, and so on and so forth. If we can have a 10th man that can sub in for Julius Randle and lessen Julius Randle's load so much, not having him 35, 36, 37 minutes a game, and more of 30, 32, 33, 34 minutes a game, could cause him to be more effective, down the stretches of games, i.e. Quentin Grimes. Same thing with Quentin Grimes, the same thing with Brunson, and the same thing with RJ. So, ideally, if you bring these guys' minutes down a little bit and bring them back in, into fourth quarter in win mode, it would probably behoove Tibbs to make that 10-man rotation, because now, you're not running Grimes crazy. Grimes can get a little break. Another big thing that has to happen is RJ has to play some defense this year. With RJ playing some defense, it helps out the team. It helps out Quentin Grimes, instead of Quentin Grimes playing the 2 or the 3 that's the best player on the opposing team. Now, if RJ can step back up like he did 2 years ago, then we have a better chance of having better production from everybody. And a 10-man rotation is only way that a 10-man rotation happens is if we get a 10th man that's worth the minutes, because with a 10th man coming into the rotation, everybody minutes drops down 2 to 4 minutes. I mean, depending on what position you play, but everybody minutes comes down a little bit. So, it would help, I believe, Julius Randle, depending on who it is, if they could get someone in there where Julius is playing 33, 34, 35 minutes a game instead of playing 34, 35, 36, 37 minutes a game, and same for Jalen Brunson. But these guys are built for, this is why, I say this because the 9-man rotation that we had, they rocked out after that loss in Dallas. They rocked out, man, and they really put it together. So who knows what's going to happen if any of these guys are going to capture any minutes and stuff like that. But bet your body, golly, why if one of these guys come in there and really ball out in the training camp and stuff like that, you never know what you're gonna see the first couple of games in the preseason games. How Tibbs tries to run a 10-man rotation. If one of the guys really steps up, if Sims really steps up, or if this guy Knight really steps up, or so on, or Roby steps up, or something like that. You never know what can happen. A 10-man rotation is not far from what Tibbs would do, but I think Tibbs haven't had the 10th man to really put in there that he really trusts. It definitely wasn't Fournier. It definitely wasn't D Rose. Definitely wasn't Deuce McBride this year. So, if you put a man in there that you think that can save Randall a little bit of time, make him a little more steadfast for the fourth quarter, if that happens, it's possible.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, Cameron, we talked about Dylan Wilder earlier. You know what? 6'7", been injured. He came in 2019 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cameron Goldberg. He been injured a lot, man. It's hard to really get a true stamp on Dylan Wilder because he's been injured a lot. Literally, he's been injured a lot. The cat can shoot the ball pretty good. His percentage is kind of, to me, I think you can't judge his percentage right now because he hasn't been playing enough. And I know basketball is the game of rhythm. The more you play, the better rhythm you win. So his career has been kind of just injury plagued so far. So, but he got a good side. I think he could be that guy that sit right where Fournier was sitting at. And remember, he on a 2-way deal. He got to go here and earn it. And Knight got to go ahead and earn it. That's why I like what's going on with the Knicks, what they're doing with these young guys, because what it's gonna do, it makes better for competition. Like now, Roby gonna have to go against Knight. If you think you want that backup power forward spot as of right now, the way the Knicks are constructed, that means Roby and Knight gonna be there, and Jericho Sims gonna be the ones banging for that backup power forward minutes. No question about it, them three. So they got to really go out there, and that's going to bring out the competition in them as well. But a lot of, like I said, a lot of these 2-way guys, they with the way the Knicks team looking, there's only one guy one guy out of them 2-way players got a powerful chance to me of playing in the rotation, and that's anybody who battling for that backup power forward spot, because nobody gonna get the minutes at the point guard. Not with Quickly, not with Brunson. Now, where even Grimes know how to dribble the ball in the sense.
Even Chenzo, none of them.
Yeah. So, and Hart as well. So guys who in that garbage, they can hang it up. They're not even playing. That's why they let Keels had to go. That's why they had to let Keels go. He wasn't gonna play on the Knicks roster. He wasn't playing, not the way they was built. And then so Wilder, he gonna have to come in and show and prove that he could beat out Hart. And if you give Hart 17 million, you best believe he playing. So sometimes you got to look at the dollars too. Because I heard somebody tell my poor Art at the bench, you done lost your mind. You think the Knicks gonna put a $23 million player on the bench? You done lost it. You know what I mean? Cool. That's not gonna happen. RJ, Brunson, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, and Grimes right now is the Knicks starting 5. But that I see going to the season. I don't see nothing changing. Unless DiVincenzo or somebody come in there and do something where Grimes got to go on the bench, which I doubt it. But a lot of these 2-way guys they're just gonna be rotations. They're gonna be in the G League or they're gonna be on the bench. They will not be in a rotation, except Shot Powers, if Knight or Roby, if the Knicks don't do nothing else, to win that spot at the backup power forward. And Knicks had played they two-way. They played Jericho Sims two-way when he first got here. So the Tiz will play him. That's why that misconception about Tiz don't play young guys is bogus. He had Jericho Sims playing on a two-way deal in his rookie year. He had, all these guys were playing. But I don't know. That's the only way I can see the Knicks. These guys getting some burn. I think that power forward, the one that most likely got a chance of getting on the Knicks roster in a rotation. Them two, Roby and him. And but other than that, man, unless they make a move, I don't know. I think they pretty much gonna be where they are. So it's interesting with Sims. Sims is gonna be interesting to me this year. Jericho Sims is gonna be really the interesting guy to me this year, man. Coming off that shoulder surgery, he'll be ready for training camp. Be fine. He's gonna be one of them guys, Shot Powers, who got to play an option for next year, or if he there just to be in a trade package. A lot of you guys just there to set up trade packages. I don't know, but I don't know what they're gonna do with Sims, man. Is he gonna get any burned this year? Because I see that's another thing that's what's interesting to me, Shop. How can Roby and Knight, to me, they got to come in there and beat Jericho Sims out. This is a make or break year for Jericho Sims on the Knicks. This is a make or break year for Jericho Sims on the Knicks because Harkenstein will be up next year. I don't know which way they're gonna go with that. But it's interesting. I think Jericho Sims got to really, really show improve this year. If you want to tell the Knicks, not trading deadline come, he might be that cat. Maybe him and McBride will be telling the cats might be out of here because they don't got no contracts next year. But McBride don't have a contract next year, and my man Sims got a $2 million play. I think it's a team option. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. Salute to my man Canal. Canal, what's popping, my brother? Salute to you. Salute to the chat and everybody, man. Y'all got it going on and up in there, man. But we're gonna hang in at 10 o'clock that we get up out of here at 10 o'clock. But he said Sims is a robot. Hey, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding, Lawad. But yeah, Shop Powell, it's gonna be interesting. Right now, we'll see how we still got about another month or something ahead for training camp starting, whatever the case may be. Our time going so fast. Next thing you know, September be here, training camp will start, and we'll see what the Knicks gonna do between now and then. Do they make any moves to get rid of Fournier? Clear that spot there just to get him out off the team or they hold on to him and use him at the trading deadline. I think they better strike while the iron hot because I don't know how much you're gonna get for him.
Yeah. What do you think, Divine? You think the Knicks hold on to Fournier, let him stay in France or wherever he's staying, in Brooklyn where he's staying, and until they can make a deal, if they can't make a deal before the season starts, you think he sits the bench? I mean, he probably won't sit the bench. They probably send him home. I doubt that he sit the bench, but do you think he'll still be on the roster to the trade deadline this year, or you think they'll trade him before the start of the season?
I think Evan Fournier, and I could be wrong, but I think he won't. I don't really see the significance of the Knicks even keeping him on here unless they try to wait to the trade deadline. So I'm going to say that I'm with you, Canal. That's what I'm looking for. I want that right there, that trade exemption. So I do think he get moved. I think he get moved before the season starts, Shop Powers. I think he get moved, whether the clear salary, like he said, with the exemption, or I can't. It doesn't make sense for him to be on the roster. Put it like that. It just don't make no sense. So not like you said, unless you're gonna tell him to sit home. You know what I mean? You don't want that. You don't want a man on the bench angry at a veteran and he in his prime. Right. You don't want him on the bench. You don't want him. You don't want him nowhere near them players. Because whether I don't care how professional he is, but he ain't gonna be professional sitting on the bench for 40-something games, 30, and knowing that he could be somewhere playing, or he could be in San Antonio trying to help his fellow countryman develop his game. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting, man. Shop out just to answer your question. I think Fournier going. I'm gonna guess and say in the next 2 weeks.
I hope so. I hope so because he probably wouldn't sit on the bench, but it would make it so toxic. So I think that they try to move on from him before the season starts. I think so as well. There's no need to try to keep a hold of him. I think the only reason why they're holding out on moving him is some of the things that I've seen out there about adding a first-round pick to him. That's probably about the only reason why he's still on this roster as of now, because the couple of trades that they did have out there for him. There was a trade, I think it was the Cleveland, and there was another trade for him to San Antonio. They both want first round picks. And me personally, I'm not giving Fournier plus a first round pick for nothing.
No.
I mean, ain't no way that you're gonna get no first round pick. And maybe I might consider a first round pick if it was which one of those picks was it? Was it Detroit? I think Detroit was the 18th first round pick or something like that. Top 18. I would offer that one. If you want a first round pick, I give you one. I give you the Detroit one. I think that one is the latest one of the pick, the protected picks that we have. I think that one goes to 18, top 18. So if you want a first round pick, I'll give you that one plus Fournier. But I really don't even want to give that because I think the 24-25 off season is going to be something where we can use all of those picks, combine them, push them all together, do something with them, you know what I mean? But who knows what can happen.
Yep. Real talk, AP. I agree with you. Tibbs gonna have to step his game up a little bit more. I mean, like I said, I know Tibbs is in a tough situation, with New York, man, because I don't think he's gonna get a win, he's never gonna get the respect of the fan base like he should, because I just think that you had a guy come over here with a weak roster. This cat came here at the 21 season with a weak roster. I mean, that roster was Julius Randle, a second-year RJ, Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock. Those cats not even playing that much, and Reggie Bullock just got shipped to San Antonio. I mean, literally, a young Mitchell Robinson have broken down the well to a degree. He just signed for $3 million somewhere. I mean, Tibbs came here with a weak roster, man. He got these cats to the playoffs. I cannot emphasize that enough. I mean, he might not be the creme de la creme, but damn, the playoffs are developing under this guy. Everybody in the gym under this guy. Think about every Knick on that team since he's been there. They've been getting better. But, you also got to look at what he came into. Look what he came into. Alfred Payton, all these guys, man, like it was like, he took a Julius Randle and a bunch of average players. Even RJ at that time was only his second year in the league, just scratching the surface, and took him for 21 wins to 41 wins. Not too many people could do that, Shot Power. That's why I always try to say, at least, put like this here, for the things that he do that's not good, he do a lot of damn things good. Because he damn sure made us relevant. He made us relevant. So I get that on Tibbs, but to me, a lot of these cats ain't gonna be around. Nick's gonna try to make it happen when they strike high. So I do think that Fournier out, Jetson, send him up out of here. He got to go. He just listen, and people say he hit 213, 3, whatever. He didn't win though. Fournier ain't won in New York. He came the year he came here. Him and Kimmel Walker, they didn't win. They was under 500. Fournier could pout all he wanted to. They were the under 500 basketball. Under 500 basketball team down there. They didn't make the playoffs. Fournier started the season. Knicks was under 500. They bench him. Knicks make the playoffs and go on a little run. There's enough. You can't say too much about it. So just send him somewhere where he can play. He can back up somebody. He just don't fit what the Knicks do. I just think that's the way that I don't think he fit what the Knicks do. Now you got DiVincenzo and Josh Hart. The way they play defense, he ain't getting no burn. And we said that earlier. We said it in 2021. We said Quentin Grimes would take my man's spot, and he sure did, because why? Quentin Grimes played defense. And that's just the way it is. So I think the Knicks will be okay, man. I think they move on from him, Shot Powell. But to answer your question, I do think they take him out. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks he get moved on. And then that way they can go into training camp, kind of know what they got. You know what I mean? They know where they at. You go into training camp with your roster set. You don't want to go into training camp with my man there. I don't think it makes sense to me. Unless y'all say you willing to say we'll keep him, but you ain't even got to be. You can go sit home and watch this from. You can watch a game from home. Yeah, that's the only way I seen him doing that. No way ever Fournier should be on that bench. Yeah, you're right. A lot wise. He would have broke that. That's another good point. Randall was about to break that this year. I'm glad the God put that out there. He was about to break that this year. Like I said, man, I think we can. You got to give. I think this year you got to give Randall a little break when it comes to the playoffs. That cat came to the playoffs hurt and got hurt in the playoffs, and so I think we got to kind of give him a little breathing room about his playoff performance overall. But I don't know.
And you got to take into consideration the first year that Randall went to the playoffs was here in New York. and the scheme was made before anything. The Atlanta Hawks said they were going to double and triple team Julius Randle and let all the Tito's try to beat us, and they accomplished that. I mean, I think Randle had one potent game in that series, and the second time that Julius Randle made it to a playoffs was with the Knicks, and he was hurt going into the playoffs, and he got hurt in the playoffs. And I mean, this year, and not, not that it makes a big difference, but he was down maybe about 9 points from his average, but he still scored, I think it was 17 points in the playoffs. He wasn't the quote unquote Julius Randle that we wished he could have been, not being hurt, but he came in and he tried to play, but you seen that he was laboring. You seen even more so than him being I don't want to call him lazy, but not getting back on defense. It was even more so shown that when he would run up the court, he would be, a little. So you've seen it. So I'm not saying that I'm giving him a pass, but the only 2 years that Julius Randle has been in the playoffs is right here with the New York Knicks. So he's only been there 2 times. Remember what happened with Michael when he went there? It took Michael like 4 times before 4 or 5. I hate to say, I don't know why I brought up Michael Jordan's name, but Michael Jordan, it took him a whole, let's say, Steph Curry. I mean, Curry. It took Curry 3, 4, 5 years before they made it to the. Let's look at Denver. It took them 3, 4, 5 years before they made it there. And with these guys, seeing their thing. So I'm not giving him a full pass. You know what I mean? He did get that guy LeVert stuck his foot out there and sprained his. I think he did it on purpose. I swear to goodness. But at any rate, I'm going to give him another pass and see what happens this year. If he can help us take us to the top of the mountain, let's see what happens.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, man, we're gonna get up out of here. We're just gonna go over what we talked about today, man. Obviously, we started the show with we talked about the two-way players or the carousel going on in New York. That was our main topic, was about the two-way player that's in here. We did a good job on that. Shop Power, thank you for covering that. We talked about Leon Rose next move. We went talked about what Leon Rose is gonna do moving forward with this roster. Salary cap implications. Guys just signed for $304 million. Jaylen Brown now 2 years from now. Donovan Mitchell gets $314 million if he make All NBA again. All this stuff. With Leon Rose had, he got him and his organization got their hands full, but they'll figure it all out. Obviously, we talked about the roster makeup and all that good stuff, so that was great. But like I said, just when we started the show, we just want to say prayer up to Bronny James. I hope this cat can really come over this, man. And but that's tough, man. That's a tough situation. But we praying for you, young man. LeBron James and your family, your wife, and your just prayers up to y'all. Know everybody, man. He's
not to cut you off real quick, Devon, but I heard that he's not in ICU anymore, so that's right. A good start.
Yep, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, he made it out of ICU. So let's hope that that this cat can get back out there, young man, and get a continued career. I don't know, it's tough. I never had that situation, so I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how that works when you have something like that. Can he recover from that and go on and play basketball? I'm not sure. I have no idea. But then obviously congratulations to Mitchell Robinson, man. Like I said, the birth of his young child. Yeah, they had one new addition to the family, him and the significant other. So to my man Big Mitch. I know Big Mitch is gonna be proud of that. He's probably gonna come out here and kill it next year because he know that he got that out the way. Shaquan Barkley back with the big blue, ladies and gentlemen. Shaquan is back in New York at the Giants. Yes, sir, man. Sleeping team. Sleep on the Giants if y'all want to this year. I said last year y'all gonna sleep on and watch what they're gonna do. I'm saying it again this year. Watch out for the Giants, man. That's a good team. People sleeping on the Giants. I think they're gonna be okay. Now we got Shaquan back in the building. That's good too. And we got the Subway Series. You see what my man Shop Howard's representing Yankees and Mets. You know what I mean? Subway Series popping off in New York. So that was a good look there, man. But everybody, man, listen. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shop Powers. Be safe, traveler, my man. And don't let Greg Abbott and them play you out down there in Texas.
No doubt.
Yeah. But listen, words, my man. We get up out of here.
Salute to you, Devon, as always. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Yes. I tell you guys, you guys and gals are great in that chat, man. Y'all keep me looking around, like I say, always looking around and paying attention to what you guys say because y'all are great minds. You know what I mean? Once again, salute to you, Devon. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for coming in tonight, man. We just trying to keep y'all informed, man. You know, we it's not a lot of content popping off. You know, we create it as we make it, man. We create it just so to keep you cats engaged, and we love being here with you guys, man. You know? So I know sometimes we might sound like we're going over a lot of topics, but we do try to create some different type of topics where everybody can get into it because it's a long season, man. But salute to all you guys, and y'all be good, man. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. And salute to the chat. Salute to everybody. Thank y'all for coming in. Shaw Paulo, man. I see you on the other side. And
you're ready.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Next we'll talk. Divine, Shaw, the chat. We out of here, man. Peace.
Peace.
Time for Divine Shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that you don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, with the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that's the things we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the lakes, Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's airspace that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 Jacksons on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew, so here's a few bars that shine like stars divine to Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.